See, it's gonna start in just, there it is. Okay, hi, happy Friday. It's Jen here with guest chef. What's your name?
Jacoby.
Jacoby, and we are taking our pizza dough that we made last night. Actually, let me back that up. It's not just pizza dough. It is generally bread dough that we're gonna use for pizza dough tonight to make delicious pizza. What kind of pizza are we gonna make?
We're gonna make pepperoni.
Pepperoni. And I am going to do something very polarizing. I am going to make some ham and pineapple pizza because I wanted ham and mushrooms, but they didn't have any mushrooms at the store. So I want to know who likes pineapple pizza, pineapple on their pizza or fruit on their pizza.
Oh,
do you like it?
A YouTuber likes pineapple on their pizza.
And who's that?
I don't know their name.
I can't remember their name. I know it's a very polarizing argument whether pineapple belongs on pizza or not. I like it. Something about that, like acidity with the cheese. Have you ever tried it before?
No.
I don't think so.
I know.
Will you try it tonight?
No.
No. Okay. Well, there we go. So before we get started, number one thing you need to have when kind of cooking anytime, but especially when you're cooking with a special guy like this, have some wine. So got that ready. I'm going to put it back here. Then make sure you sit it out of the way, still within your reach, but out of the way so nobody knocks it over. Well, you can't have any wine.
I know. I'm just thirsty.
Okay. Okay. And we've got Caesar down here kissing my toes.
Right
now we
back.
have washed our
I'll be
hands.
right back.
Okay. So Jacoby's going to be right back. And if you walk away, then you have to wash your hands again. Okay, sweetie?
What you did?
I think he's going to get a drink. He's going to get a sip. Okay. So before we get onto our pizza, we first need to make our pizza sauce. So we did the dough last night. The sauce is here. Because the kids don't always like the chunks of tomatoes, I'm going to take a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes and I'm going to puree it with just a couple of spices. A lot of times when I do the pizza for myself, I will just simply scoop the crushed or diced or whatever tomatoes out and use that as the sauce and not puree it at all. But if you've got somebody picky who doesn't really like the chunks, you might want to do this. So I'm going to aim this down just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to dump just one can of tomatoes. I'm going to do that so we don't splash, because of course somehow I'm wearing a white shirt. I don't want it to be red. I had a full day of training, and then just to get crazy, I changed out of my work shirt and put on different clothes. And now I'm wondering why I put on the white shirt. But anyway, that's okay. The training has been good. So if you're trying to stay on track with your fitness, go ahead and reach out to me because I can help you go through live one-on-one virtual personal training. That's your commercial. And now back to your pizza.
Do you see my lightning bolt on my head?
Yeah, we see your lightning bolt at the other side. There you go. So cool. Okay, so back to this. So in here, I just have I used some Italian seasoning, a little bit of sugar just to cut some of the acidity from the tomatoes, some salt and pepper. You don't have to put sugar in. I'm just doing it because some of us just aren't that sweet and we need a little extra sweetness. And some red pepper flakes. So go ahead and Kobe, you want to dump that in?
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. If you want the full recipe for what that is, go ahead and reach out and I can send it to you. And then we're going to put some tomato paste. Now, I love the tomato paste in the tubes like this because quite often you don't really need like a full 4 or 6 ounces of tomato paste from one of the little cans. You might just need 1 tablespoon. So if you get one of those cans, if you want to be really efficient, you can scoop out little tablespoon scoops, put it on a plastic or parchment lined sheet pan and put it in the freezer and freeze those little 1 tablespoon chunks, then pull them out as you need them. Or you can get one of these tubes where you can just squeeze out, and I'm gonna rough estimate, oops, there we go, about a tablespoon of tomato paste. There we go. Sorry, but I squeezed that in there. And then what you're gonna do
Because I don't want to.
You don't want it to spray on you. I know. I'm wondering why I'm doing this, but it's okay. Then you're gonna just take a nice immersion blender or your food processor or whatever and give it a little chop, a little puree. I'm gonna give it a stir.
So now it's turning into tomato sauce.
Yep. And I like to use the fire roasted tomatoes because I think it gives it a little extra, just a little extra
Taste?
spice. Yeah, a little extra taste. I like it. There we go. Just mix that all up there.
This pizza is gonna be good when it's done.
It's going to be so good. And then we'll just set this out of the way here. Fun fact, this immersion blender was the first present Brandon ever gave me. So it's old. For Christmas. So that's special. Okay, just gonna get this out of the way. So now our sauce is made. You can feel free to use a store-bought sauce, whatever.
So now we
you
just
like.
have to put it on the dough, and then we're done with this part, and then put the cheese in, then pepperonis.
That's right. So now that we've got this ready, because this is called mise en place, where you get all your things ready. So we've got our sauce, we've got some cheese,
And we got some pepperonis.
and we are going to, whoops, I need to get the dough out. So right back here. So if you remember, look at that. Last night we made this dough. Let me aim this back down here. We made this dough and it was not up to the top. Do you remember how low it was last night?
I don't remember because I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Oh, that's right. He was sad he didn't get to help me all the way make the dough, but that's okay. So yeah, so you see this dough, you see some bubbles in there. It's released all the gases.
So now we have to put it on like something and then like roll it out with this.
With the rolling pin, that's right. So what we're gonna do is this dough is kind of a little bit sticky. So we're just gonna take a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on top. This is called bench flour. So it's called bench flour because you just kind of have it on the bench or the table, whatever, so that you can grab some while you are making your dough. So I'm going to grab
Oh,
a piece of parchment. This is my little tip that I like to do.
I was about to say, okay, so this is parchment paper.
This is parchment paper. I'm going to spread a little bit.
Yeah, so it doesn't stick onto it.
That's exactly right. So it doesn't stick.
Because I saw a lot of videos of that.
Yeah, and it will stick a little bit, and that is totally fine. I'm going to readjust the camera in just a
Is there a wider
second.
angle on it? or-
I'm going to roll it out.
Isn't there a wider angle?
From that, no.
I
Not-
thought there
not
maybe is
from
a
here.
wider, because it's like very focused, you know what I mean? But you can't flip it around.
Yeah,
No
I think
worries.
that's just where it is. We've got our technical
So
Sorry,
support
to
pour,
make it
coming in.
a-
pour it on this.
Okay,
Pour
so
it on it.
okay, so it's not going to pour on. You just kind of reach in and put a little bit of flour on your hands.
Say hi to Grandma. She's watching.
Yeah,
Say
I think.
hi, Grandma.
Yeah, Grammy Lane's watching.
Say hi, Grandma.
Say hi, Grandma.
Say it. You have to say it. She won't know. You have to say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grammy.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, now I should put this over here. So I'm just kind of pinching off a bit of dough right here. And you can use scissors to cut it. It's kind of whatever is
Yeah, like
best for you.
food scissors.
Just regular scissors. And then you kind of want to get a little bit more
Well,
flour
if you
on
have
it.
food on scissors, you
Can I
should
hold it back a little bit?
You can take it back. If you want to be my camera guy, you
I'll
can.
be your camera guy.
Okay. So we just don't need to get our laundry in the background.
That's fine.
Okay. So you're going to form it a little bowl. No, that's my wine too. So hold
fine.
on. I have to move it.
You gotta drink it too.
I know.
Okay,
The
I'm
other one
gonna
that's so
roll
long
it
ago.
out.
So now you have this nice, see how that's like a nice little ball of dough? I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more flour. It's a fine line between too much flour and just enough. It's kind of crooked there. Okay, so before we're not going to roll it out. Yeah, it's a little crooked.
I can't tell.
I know. 'Cause
So after we do this one thing, we're gonna
How's
roll
that?
it
Better?
out.
I think that's fine, yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let's put the rolling pin down. And to start, we're just going to kind of stretch it a little bit and
So-
roll it
so
around.
we
Can
can-
you do this, Kobe?
Yeah.
You just kind of go around. You kind of want to keep that crust. Aim it down a little bit, babe. Aim it down a little bit, babe. Brandon, aim it down.
I'm aiming it.
No, you're not. Sorry, I didn't mean to get feisty.
I can do it.
It's looking okay. So you're gonna kind of spin it around, still kind of keeping your thumbs in line to keep that crust, that thicker crust area, but you're kind of just stretching the dough out here.
So we're kind of making like the dough.
Mm-hmm. And you can pull it down from a little bit more so that you can stretch it out a little bit bigger, but you're kind of letting the weight of the dough pull it down. Here, do you need a little bit more? Yeah, you need a little bit more bench flour there.
Get some more flour on your fingers.
And put a little more flour on your fingers.
It helps so it doesn't stick.
Now we're not going to be tossing this up in the air. It doesn't.
Okay, so now.
Okay, so you want to do a little bit more?
Grab a hold of that sucker, Kobe.
Yeah, you got to really grab it. Now look, hold on. You can see, maybe not, it's starting to get a little thin right there. And there are going to be certain spots that do that. So just try and avoid those areas. And when you get it kind of like this, you can kind of hit a little bit more flour on it.
I'm going to do something else.
You're going to do something else? Okay. There you go. So you can kind of toss it down on the ground, get a little bit more, not on the ground, on the table, get a little bit more flour on it, because as you stretch it, it's going to get stickier and stickier. Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to roll it out?
Just a second. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more flour here.
So what are we going to put
A little bit more flour there. Okay, now you can roll it. So what you want to do, I'm going to help you here, sweetie. You're going to roll from the middle, nice light pressure, out. Hold on, nope, not back and forth. Then you're going to rotate it and take it from the middle, out. And if it starts to stick, just hit it with a little bit more flour. And you can kind of brush it around like that. Okay, now we need to rotate it.
I'm getting so hungry watching this.
Okay, from the middle, out.
I know how good this pizza is.
Yeah, that's good. Middle, out. Now we're doing all these things to help kind of preserve the round shape. I don't know. Do you think, Brandon, have I ever really made, nope, from the middle out. Have I ever made a round pizza really?
No.
No. I think that they're
I don't care. It can be a square if you want it. It's fantastic.
Oblong. Sometimes I've made heartish shaped pizzas. I've done a bunch of different kinds. Okay, let mommy get in here a little bit. Okay.
Let her finish. Good job.
You need to move, but you can see how quickly you can kind of start to go through there.
There's not some there. There's not some there.
It's right here.
Yeah. Now, some of us like thinner crust pizza, and some of us like thicker crust pizza. So I'm going to have this in between because this is going to be the pepperoni for the kids. But going back a little bit, you want to start from the middle out because otherwise you're just going to be pushing dough from this side to this side kind of, and you're going to be really thin on this side and it's going to be thick on that side. And then kind of let up on the pressure when you get out to the end so that it's not really thin at the end. But yeah, so as you noticed, I didn't pick it up at all. I just kind of let it stick. It's kind of stuck to the parchment here, and that's totally fine. I kind of like to do that because it helps hold the shape just a little bit. And because of how this dough works, I think it works better that way. So, and I like to do it on the parchment for that particular reason. Here, I didn't get, hold on one second. Let me get some of this dough off of my hands here. And then
after we do this, are we gonna put the sauce on it right now?
Yeah, we're gonna put the sauce on in just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So
I can.
Yeah, you can use that. Now the kids don't eat wings, but I'm taking it upon myself to have wings tonight because if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And when I make my
Nerf war tonight.
I don't think we're gonna have a Nerf war tonight.
Yeah, we are. And Aiden's definitely gonna win. He's very good.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get this out of the way, and then you can take it because this we don't need anymore. So we're gonna have wings too. If you want my recipe for wings, let me know. I can send it to you. We don't have it anymore. Yeah. It's a really great recipe. I don't like a lot of thick breading on my wings, and this is really nice and light. It still gets very crispy without all the breading on it. So they're really good. So that's what's in the oven right now. So we're kind of giving a little, yeah, that's good. taking a little bit of extra time so that it'll be ready to do the next thing on that when this pizza goes in. Anyway, so we've got our dough rolled out here all nicely. There we go.
So now we're gonna put the sauce on.
In just a second, let's see here. I like to give a little drizzle of oil. I'm gonna use avocado oil because that's what I have here. I like to do that. And then just a little drizzle on top. Then I'm gonna do a little sprinkle of salt.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, he's just gonna push back a little bit more. I like to do a little drizzle of salt.
I wanna do some salt.
You can do the pepper. I thought you didn't want to do it. Here. A little crack of pepper. A little bit more. There you go. That's good. Put that back there. And then I'm just going to hit it with, where'd it go? No, that's fine. So then I just kind of spread it around. If you've planned ahead and you want to do a little bit of garlic oil on here, you can do that.
You can put any oil you want.
That's right, or garlic butter. I know sometimes we like to do that, but I'm just kind of going just real quick. Chicken oil? Yeah, it's called like smaltz or schmaltz. Yeah.
Small?
No, he's doing weird things.
Are we being weird, or did you really want to know?
No, he was just looking at the camera and giving it googly eyes. He's like cute.
Giving googly eyes to the camera. Okay, so next we put a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. You can put a little, Italian seasoning that's right here in front of me. Duh, whatever. You don't have to because we already put some of that in our
Okay, so now we're gonna
sauce.
put the sauce on.
Yeah. Why don't you take a couple of spoonfuls of sauce and put it there, and we're gonna spread it around.
Okay.
Go ahead. There you go. Put it right in the middle there. And get one more. There you go. And now just spread it around. Kind of make sure you leave a little bit of a crust. So just spread it really all the way out. We might need more. And try not to fling it. But see, this is a really fun thing you can do as a family where everybody can make their own pizza. So everybody gets what they want. There's no fighting over, I want this kind. Whatever. Nobody has to complain about it. Like I said, I'm going to make ham and pineapple pizza for myself. The kids are going to have some pepperoni. I'll probably also do a cheese pizza. Here, let's get a little
more sauce, dude.
Let's get a little bit more sauce. Get another scoop. And then dump it on there. Well, don't dump, but carefully spread it around. You don't want to have too much sauce because then it makes it a little bit soggy. Here, let's do it.
Let me help you out.
Let me help you out just a little bit. You kind of do a nice light hand, so you spread it, but you don't need to get crazy. Like I would say that's enough sauce. That's kind of how much I would put on. And then there you're good there. Then the awesome thing is you made this sauce, so you've got some extra left over after we make a couple of pizzas.
So we can make like 3.
Yeah, like 3, and you can like freeze it if there's some left over to make for pizza next week. And then you do your dance because it's Friday. And then we're gonna do a little bit of cheese. Is this? No, that's not red cheese. There we go. We're gonna do some cheese.
I'm gonna sprinkle.
Yeah, we're gonna sprinkle some cheese on.
Take this in.
There you go.
Good dad, that's funny.
What?
He did a good dad. He's like.
There you go. Now to spread that cheese around. Oh, careful. You're tossing the cheese.
All right.
You're a silly boy. Okay.
Okay,
so that's the timer on the. Can you just put that temperature up to 450, please?
So that's on the cheese.
Okay. So my wings are back there for. Oh gosh.
We're gonna make a big pizza, and it's gonna be super yummy.
I got it.
Our pizza is gonna be super yummy.
So the wings had to go for a half an hour at 250. Now
We
they're.
have a secret recipe for pizza.
Yeah. Well, it's not a secret anymore because we're sharing it right now. Goofball.
Well, it's a secret for
Previously a secret.
For our family and those.
Well, it was a secret. Now they're finding out about it. Okay. So yeah, the wings were in at 250. We're pumping it up to 450 because I like a nice hot oven when I do my
We have
pizza.
a different cool recipe.
A different cool pizza recipe? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll tell you what it's called.
Yeah. I'm gonna
It's
grab.
called, it's called Super Pepperoni Pizza.
Super pepperoni pizza?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God.
Cause that means like super much pepperoni.
Yeah.
So
That sounds crazy. Okay, I like to hit a little bit of cheddar on here too, especially if it's just cheese. But it's just nice to get the.
that looks like real cheese, but the weight doesn't.
Well, they're different kinds of cheese. This is a cheddar, and then we've got that. Okay, now the most important part of pepperoni pizza is
Pepperonis.
that's right. Let me get a little bowl here.
I'm gonna like set them on in like different spots.
Okay, you should do that.
Kobe, is this shirt a little small? Can I see? A little small.
A little small. Hey, put your belly away. There we go. So go ahead and you can pull some pepperonis out and make your own design.
Pepperoni.
Spread them out. Remember, we don't like them when they're all in one spot. But this is really fun because you can also do, if your kids like pizza rolls, you can do like a big calzone for them and do it just like this. All you do is just fold that dough over and crimp the edges.
And then you actually you and then you add
Add what?
you add you add tomato sauce in it.
That's right. But it's really just like this. Do you want another pepperoni like over there or there?
Yeah,
I think that would work.
because do you know what this is?
What?
It's a beach ball,
Oh, I like it.
and then this is just gonna be a ball behind it.
Okay. Do you want one more on there?
No,
Or are you good?
that's fine.
Okay, perfect. That's your masterpiece. So then,
Master pizza.
master pizza, we just, take our sheet pan here and carefully do a little transfer. And like I said, I especially like doing this way, when there's kids involved because I think that it works easier this way. And you just have to very carefully transfer it over like that. And hopefully your pizza fits on your sheet pan. And then you've got it like that. And so I was saying before, I like to do these at about 450 or 400, 425, somewhere around in there. But I like a nice hot oven
So now
that it
we're gonna
cooks
put
quickly.
this in the oven, and then after it's done, we're gonna eat it up, and it's gonna be so yummy.
It's going to be so yummy. And what we should do, because we're not going to make people wait on here while it bakes, it's going to bake for about, it depends on how thick your crust is going to be, but usually around 10, could be anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes.
I'm watching it delayed. It's like 30 seconds delayed.
Funny.
He's hilarious.
Brandon's over here laughing at us. Come on
No,
up
I'm
here.
laughing at
We're
Jacoby.
gonna do our sign off. Okay. So yeah, about 7 to 15 minutes in the oven at about 450 or so, depending again on your thickness. You can use this to do a more thicker crust, deep dish pizza. You can do it thinner. And I'll tell you, when I've done it, a nice thin crust, roll it out really thin, you can have the whole pizza and it's only about 200 calories depending on what your toppings are. So I think if you can have pizza for 200 calories, then it's A-okay. And
Say goodbye.
it's no big deal. Then you have a nice salad with it and you get all your favorite things all in one thing. Okay, so if you would like the recipe for the sauce or any of the recipes I talked about tonight, go ahead and reach out to me. Or wine, yes, wine. Pizza and wine, there's really nothing better. I'm so excited about pizza. I was telling everybody about pizza night earlier. But anyway, if you'd like any of those things, reach out. Otherwise, have a great night. Happy Friday from my family to yours. Have a good night. Bye. Thanks.